What's up again, everybody? I'm Clayton. Welcome back to Ages of Film. As you can tell by the title, today I'm reviewing X-Men Origins Wolverine, released in 2009, directed by Gavin Hood. This is a subscriber request by my boy Austin, one of the OG Wolves pack members. I recently finished reviewing the Deadpool trilogy. You guys can go check out those reviews in the archives. And Austin requested that I review the Wolverine trilogy. So that's what we're doing. Starting with the Wolverine X-Men Origins. And then we'll go to the Wolverine and then Logan to end it. So if anyone is new to my channel, thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel out. Thank you all for being here. All right, so getting into this review. For anyone that doesn't know, I am typically more of a DC guy. I'm not a big Marvel fan. So I'll just put that out there as a disclaimer. I'm not a big Marvel guy. I grew up as a big Batman fan, big fan of DC Comics. So the DC characters and the DC world is what I'm much more familiar with, much more of a fan of. That being said, there are certain Marvel characters that I do love and that I did grow up with. And Wolverine is one of those characters from Marvel that I've always loved and always grown up appreciating. So I do really like this movie, and part of that is because I do really love the Wolverine character. So getting into the positives here with this movie, and just as a quick reminder, guys, this is just my opinion on this movie. You can feel free to disagree with me in the comment section. All I ask that you be respectful about it. But getting into the positives for me with this movie, one of them is I do like the origin story here for Wolverine, kind of showing him as a kid, and then, you know, fast forward throughout the years of his life. You know, he comes from the 1800s, born in the 1800s, fought in all the American wars from the Civil War to World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and before he got his adamantium and became the Wolverine, right? So I enjoyed the story here, the backstory of Logan, and kind of seeing how he came to be the Wolverine, right? So the story here was a positive for me. I think they probably could have touched a few things up a little bit, and I'll talk about that some more in the negatives. But overall, as a story for the character of Wolverine, I liked it. I appreciated it. I liked seeing, you know, where he comes from, which I kind of knew already, being a fan of the character, but seeing it on screen and seeing it, you know, in a live action movie was nice to have that for the character, especially given that we didn't get that with the first 3 X-Men movies. We never got Logan's origin story. So getting that here with this movie was nice to have for the character. I liked what they did with the Wolverine character. I liked the character writing. I thought he was used well in this movie. He wasn't, you know, they didn't make him a parody of himself, like, I don't know, Batman and Robin with George Clooney's Batman, and the way that never mind. I won't go down that road. This isn't a Batman review, so I'll leave that alone. But you get my point. They used Wolverine well. You know, they really, I thought, did a good job at showing both the animalistic side of Wolverine, of Logan, while also showing part of his humanity, which is important for that character, because both of those sides of Logan is who he really is. He is an animal. The Wolverine part of his character is who he is. at his core, but at his core is also a human being with a big heart and, you know, a lot of passion for humanity and life. So I thought they balanced that well and used the character well in the movie. He wasn't, you know, dominated really by anybody. He got a lot of good fights in. I thought he was used well, directed well. You could tell that the people making this movie were fans of the character, and that's always good to see. So I liked the character of Wolverine, how he was used. I thought Hugh Jackman did a great job playing Wolverine, as always. He is Wolverine, as Ryan Reynolds has gone on record saying no one else can play Wolverine but Hugh Jackman. He is Wolverine. So, and he as always brought a great performance as that character in the movie. So he was good. I liked the Stryker character in this movie. He I thought was written and used pretty well. Victor, I liked the guy that played him, Leave Tyler, something like that. I forget his name. I like him as an actor. He's been in a lot of movies that I really enjoy. And I thought he is my favorite, version, or portrayal of, Sabretooth, or Victor. He's known as in this movie. And I thought he did a good job. So, I thought his character was written really well also, because he wasn't just a pushover, you know, someone that is just going to get walked right through, you know. I mean, he put up a pretty good fight against Logan throughout this movie, and pretty good fight against other characters. So I thought his character was written well and was used well in the movie. He was a genuine threat. He wasn't just, you know, a pawn, someone that was just easily defeated. He was used well in the movie, I thought, and because we see him and Logan as kids, I think it makes the tension between those two characters connect more for me. And because you see, while they are both going at it with each other and trying to kill the other at one point, there is also, at the end of the day, that brotherhood, that literal brotherhood that they share. You know, their blood, you know, and Stryker, or Victor, kind of reminds Logan of that at the end of the movie, you know, when Logan's telling him, you know, this doesn't change anything between us, and Victor tells him it does change things between us, because at the end of the day, we're brothers, and brothers look out for each other. So you still see that love that they have for each other. As much as they're fighting throughout the movie, you know, they do share that blood, and blood is thicker than water. So, yeah, I enjoyed their relationship. Thought they were both written well. The plot was well written for me. All that were positives. I also really liked the cinematography in this movie. I thought that the movie was shot really well. A lot of good framing in this movie. A lot of good camera usage, the way that they use the camera. The framing of the shots were really well. They were doing something for the characters. You know, it was all intentional. It's stuff that, to the layperson, they may not pick up on what exactly is going on with each framing, each shot. But if you study film, if you know photography or cinematography, you see what's going on, and you see what the director is doing by framing each shot the way that he's framing each shot. And as a film student, I pay attention to that stuff, especially given that cinematography is that's my major. That, you know, that's what I'm getting a degree in. So I do pay close attention to cinematography in films, the camera placement, the look of the film, how the camera's being used, all the things. I'm paying close attention to that. And I personally, I liked the cinematography in this movie. I liked what they did. I liked the camera framing. I thought the decisions of where the camera was placed for each shot was well thought out and was good decisions on the camera placement. So, and there are some really beautiful shots in the movie as well, I think. So I really enjoyed the cinematography in this movie. I thought the production design was pretty good. The world building here, a lot of it were just set pieces. Other parts of it was just miniatures, but I like the look of it. The look, the feel, the atmosphere of this movie was also strong positive. It kind of fits that character of Logan and Wolverine, in my opinion. So that was all a positive. And then the rewatch value, high rewatch value for me, because I really enjoyed this movie. You get a lot of Logan, a lot of Wolverine in the film, and I loved the setting. A lot of it was in Canada, in the woods. I love that kind of setting and atmosphere, especially for Wolverine. I think it fits that character, kind of this rugged outdoorsman type of feel. To me, that's Logan. So he doesn't, I don't think Logan would be used very well in an urban environment, in New York or Chicago or LA. Like, that doesn't fit that character, in my opinion. So keeping it in the north, in the woods, in the cold, all of that to me is just really good setting and atmosphere to me, and it enhances the rewatch value. So the pacing is really good in this movie as well. It's a movie that flies by. It's only about an hour and 45, but it's a quick hour and 45. It's an hour and 45 that flies by for me, because I'm just having a really positive experience with the movie, really enjoying the character and the performances. So the pacing, I thought, was really good as well. Moving into some of the negatives, there are a few negatives I have with the film. One of them is in the visual effects department. I don't think that this is a movie that has held up well over time with the CGI, and some of the visual effects here stand out more. I think at the time the stuff looked pretty good, but as I watched this movie back, and as I watched it back for this review, some of the CGI and visual effects don't really hold up that well for me. It's not horrible. It doesn't just completely take me out, but there are moments in the film where I think the visual effects and the CGI don't quite hold up as well for me. So that's one thing that kind of affected my experience with the movie coming back to it. Was I felt that in the visual effects department, there were some CGI issues there. Also the editing, I think there were a few segments that I personally would have rearranged, and I think would have given it a smoother transition from sequence to sequence. So that's something that I probably would have touched up if I was directing the film and had say over the editing. I think there were a few sequences in the film that I probably would have structured differently, or would have arranged differently in a different order, to have, I think, a better and smoother transition from scene to scene. So the editing for me was something that was a little bit of a negative. I felt like there were some structure issues along the way. Not bad, it wasn't anything that I'm like, oh, I can't enjoy this movie now because of the editing. Wasn't anything like that, but it was, as a viewing experience, again, something that stood out to me as something that I would have changed in the film to have an even better experience with the movie. And then there were a few things in the script department that I felt didn't quite work for me. One of them was with the Deadpool character and how he was kind of killed off. They only reference him as Deadpool once in the movie. He's kind of just known as Wade Wilson throughout the film. but it's Deadpool for all intents and purposes. But as he's fighting Victor and Logan together on top of that little whatever it is, the way that he's killed off, I mean, he gets beheaded and then that's it. He's gone. To me, it's like, I felt like that was a little lazy, especially given the fact that just 2 minutes earlier, we had seen Logan literally stab his claws straight through Wade's heart and lungs, and Wade literally healed within a fraction of a second. So it's like, if Logan sliced through his neck, why would his head not also heal that fast? You know, it just, I don't know that it fully made sense to me. But, and then also just knowing the Deadpool character, it's like, that's not really going to kill him. It might end the fight, but it's not really going to, it's not really going to kill him. So I felt like they got maybe a little sloppy, a little lazy towards the end with how they just wrote off Deadpool at the end. Also, I think with the memory loss thing, I don't know that fully makes sense to me either, because Logan can heal rapidly and his brain would also heal rapidly. So if his brain is healing, would that not by default also heal and restore the memories? Like, I don't know that it makes sense that, well, his brain will heal, but the memories won't. Because the memories are held within the brain. So if the brain is rapidly healing, would that not also heal the memories? Because you think about it, Logan can't really ever get dementia or Alzheimer's. And what is dementia and Alzheimer's? It's memory loss, because the brain isn't able to heal that part of itself. But Logan has that ability to heal from that stuff. So, which is why he can't ever really get dementia or Alzheimer's. So to me, it's like, it kind of defeats the purpose of him having that healing power, right? Because if his brain is rapidly healing, he's not gonna have memory loss. It's also going to restore the memories. So I don't know that fully connected for me either. Felt like they were just trying to create a way to set up another film, a sequel, without actually thinking through the plot and thinking through that decision fully. Also, we see in the movie earlier, Wolverine, or Logan at the time, actually dying, or at least flatlining when they're putting the adamantium inside him and experimenting on him. We see him flatline at one point, which would shut off his brain. But then when he comes back, when he hears that they're gonna wipe his memory away, his brain turns back on, and yet he still has his memory. So we've already seen his brain go from being shut off to turning back on, and his memories and brain still fully healing. So by definition, that should work getting shot in the head as well. I don't know. For me, I don't know that losing his memory from a shot in the head makes sense to me. It is what it is. That might not be an issue for you, but it's something that for me, watching the film back, I was like, I don't know that I fully buy that. And I think, and then the Kayla character as well, that's another one of those things where it's like, you set up the relationship with Kayla just to supposedly kill her off. You bring her back in the same movie, have her be part of the plot just to kill her off again. And I don't know, I felt like it got a little too convoluted at that point. Like, and I don't know that we had enough time really between her and Logan for me to fully go there and to fully invest in the character before they supposedly killed her off. Yeah. And then they bring her back just to have Logan see her die or nearly die again. Yeah, it just felt like they were trying to cram in too much there for me. So just those are just a few things in the script that I would have kind of changed a little bit, tied the bow off some on the script, but I see what they were doing. I get why they were doing what they were doing. Overall, still a really good film, really good experience. My overall rating for this movie is 3.5 stars. Really enjoyed it, and have a overall very positive experience with X-Men Origins. So that's it for this review. 3.5 stars. Let me know your thoughts on X-Men Origins Wolverine in the comment section. Do you agree with my rating? What would you give this movie if you have seen it? Anything and everything you want to let me know in the comment section, feel free to do so. Thank you guys for being here, and until next time, kick it, baby, and rock on.